You look so depressed.
I'm not depressed. I'm just like kind of in denial that morning is here. Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time I'm up 2 hours earlier than Joe, but more asleep than Joe, you'll be alerted to it. Oh my gosh.
I'm getting ready to go fight for our strawberry.
Is this your latest 3D adventure?
Yeah, I made a lightsaber.
Wow. Man, it's getting real up in here.
Is that not cool? Look at that. I got a handle really cool with a different color, and I can replace the blades when we have a lightsaber battle and then break it.
Oh, so you know, right?
Planning ahead of time.
3 boys, you know things break.
Do you know how much these things would have cost when I was a kid? Like, I always wanted a lightsaber.
Me too.
And yeah, they were too expensive. We would get the cheap, like what they use.
The Dollar Tree.
No, it wasn't even that. We would get the thing that they use, like, you know, when you go to the airport, you know, the guys are out there on the tarmac. It only came out that far. It didn't extend.
Right.
And you had to imagine that there was a beam coming out the top.
But hey, you used your imagination. I actually think that that is a pretty cool thing. Sometimes it's like we have toys that are beyond our imagination. And so it kind of makes it challenging to be creative.
When you were a kid, was there anything that you and Steven like role played, like playing, like going outside and playing? Was there anything that you role played?
Well, I mean, I made him play with Barbies. That was not his favorite thing, but they always were in a battle. Right, I think it was preparing for marriage for both of us, right? Like, because...
Was it Star Wars versus Barbie?
It was like Barbie versus G.I. Joe.
Okay,
only
close.
We had, like, not just Joe, but, like, I had the $6 Million Man's Boss. That was my Ken doll. When we watched 40-Year-Old Virgin for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, I had that action figure. And he had, like, a plaid suit on and blue underwear. I just remember. So it would always be like, you know, Barbie was tapped for a secret Rambo mission. Rambo was also used because my brother had a lot of like Rambo action figures. Also Braveheart. I don't know if anybody remembers the Braveheart line, but my mom actually...
Not Mel Gibson Braveheart. No.
The cartoon Braveheart, because... some of the G.I. Joe stuff was very expensive, and so my mom would get you like one G.I. Joe and then fill in the rest of it with some sort of like knockoff animated series.
Yeah, like I love watching Toy Story because, you know, you had the little army figures, but we had the dollar store version. Like they were missing a leg. They were already gone through battle.
Right. They were already pre-battle damaged.
For my sister and I, everything for us was outside because it was like, get outside. Like, you got to go outside.
Oh, yeah, right? We were outside.
Like, you were, even if it was raining, I think we were outside.
My parents carpeted the garage. If that is not an indicator that, like, you live outside,
right?
Carpet the garage, because that's where you're playing.
You know, technology we have today is great for us, right? When you look at iPads, and I was talking to somebody the other day about the fact that, you know, the internet used to be special. Because you could only get on the internet if you had a computer. But then all of a sudden our phones could connect, and now like everybody is on the internet all day long, and some nasty things happen because of that. But, you know, I think about the fact that technology has been so awesome in so many ways. It allows us to connect, right? I think about social media and how we can spread our message. But at the same point, I think about how technology has like kept us from exploring life, right? It's just easier to watch an iPad. We go out to restaurants and you look around and everybody's just on their phone and stuff. When my sister and her kid, your option was go outside.
Right.
Like there were only 2 channels on television. And unless it was Saturday morning or 3 o'clock in the afternoon when you got home from school, Daddy controlled the television.
Obviously.
Right? 5 o'clock was the news. After that, it was a sports game. And then if you were lucky, maybe after that, we could watch like Quincy or something like that. So we were always outside. And the thing that we role played was Chips.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Do you remember the TV show Chips? And we would ride around our bicycles and chase each other pretending we were Punch. And then the other thing that we, of course, role played, because we lived near an empty lot that had like dirt and ramps and stuff. So we would, of course, role play Dukes of Hazzard, chasing each other, going over the jumps on our bicycles. And yeah, but I mean, everything was revolving around going outside.
Well, and it's interesting, that now you almost have to get creative to unplug instead of being creative because you're unplugged. So I think that you have to take some extra steps to have those like special moments of being not tethered to your house and to your electronic equipment. And today is a perfect example for that. Like, we are getting creative when it comes to...
We're bringing back my childhood.
Going outside.
So, yeah, we're bringing back my childhood. We are going to go up to a local U-Pick. So, right now, Florida is weird because our growing season is like the winter.
Right.
It's in the winter. And so, we're actually coming to the tail end of a lot of our growing season. So we're going to go up to Bender's Farms and we're going to go picking for some strawberries. And I don't know what else they have in season up
Whatever's
there right now.
Planting, because like you said, yeah, it's probably strange for people who are still in the midst of winter to think about it, but like we get so hot in the summer that now is the time of our like mild temperatures, that you can really tolerate and won't scorch earth some of your plants that you're planting outside. I mean, fortunately, we've got our garden that we're growing inside, and
that's for lettuce and stuff.
Controls the temperature, but like outside, you've got to like grow when it's not scorching hot.
Yeah, and we are absolutely not against vegetables. We don't eat a lot of strawberries, but once in a while, it's nice to have like a slice of strawberry with your yogurt or using it in recipes and stuff. But what we're going to do is we are firm believers in purchasing locally grown, in season. And so when I was a kid, we froze and canned it. Today we're going to go get strawberries, and then anything extra, we are going to freeze dry it, which gives you all of the vitamins and nutrients, and it's good for up to 20 years.
Plus, let me just tell you, it's delicious. It is so tasty. It just really locks in the flavor of the strawberries and really makes it more of a concentrated taste. So I've almost come to like them freeze-dried better than like kind of rolling the dice and hoping that, a fresh strawberry is going to be juicy and tasty and sweet.
Yeah, so that's the plan for today. And then we'll probably use whatever we actually go picking for as part of our meals. I'm hoping we can get some peppers and
me too,
and things like that. So I'm super excited because more than just the fact that we're going to get some fresh fruits and vegetables that we can do some freeze drying, this is about the experience. And we talk all the time about get off the couch as we pull back our health. We want to do something with that. We don't want to stay sitting on the couch watching television and gorging on food. We want to get out and do something. And we now have the physical ability to go out to a farm, walk around,
get some sunshine,
bend down and pick up, because, you're going to have to bend over a lot. And there was a time where I couldn't do that. I mean, there was a time where you couldn't tie your shoes.
No, I couldn't. And you also have to carry around your bucket, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to like go out there, get everything, and be like lifting, what you pick off of the bushes.
Something smells like meat. Am I wrong?
I smell barbecue.
I do too.
So we are here at a local
You pick.
You pick.
Bender's Farms.
Yeah, it's called Bender's Farms. It's up here in Boynton Beach. And it is strawberry season right here in South Florida. And we talk all the time about when it comes to fruits and vegetables, you should eat locally grown in season. So right now, strawberries are in season. So we're going to head over here to Bender's Farms and we're going to pick some strawberries. Rachel's really in the mood for some strawberries. And you got to remember, strawberries do have carbs. You don't want to overdo them, but having 2 or 3 of them with your yogurt or your ice cream or granola or whatever is great. And the key is, again, locally grown in season. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick a whole bunch of them. And then I'm going to take a whole lot of them and I'm going to put them into the freeze dryer to preserve them for the future. I think dinner plans are going to change.
Yes. Leave it to us to find the barbecue.
Look at the smoke coming out of the smoker and it just smells amazing.
Amazing. I got my buckets ready.
This is bringing back memories of my childhood. When I was growing up on Long Island, every summer and fall, we used to drive out to the east end of Long Island to all the U-Pick places, only we didn't have buckets like this. We used to go out there with bushels, and then in the back of my dad's Suburban, we would have like 4 50-gallon garbage cans that we would fill up with tomatoes and strawberries and corn, and then spend the next week canning and freezing it all. But the only thing is, as I'm thinking about this, because Rachel's like, where do we start? When I was a kid, we never started in the front. So like right here, look, we have strawberries right here. But how do I say this nicely? A lot of us are lazy. And so what do? We start right here, right? We go right here to the front. But these usually aren't the best strawberries. The best strawberries are going to be all the way in the back where all the lazy people don't want to walk to.
Right.
So you got to go all the way to the back. And now, because we have so much energy and so much mobility, we have the ability to go all the way back. So we're going to find the furthest away strawberry patch, and those are the strawberries that we're going to pick. Did you do strawberry picking and other vegetables when you were a kid?
Absolutely. In fact, we live currently in the neighborhood where I grew up, and when we first moved there and I was in elementary school, there used to be a U-Pick right next to where like our main shopping center is. So it was a walking distance. So we used to go all of the time and do exactly what we're doing today. And I'm really glad that it's not just strawberries that they have here, but also cucumbers and green peppers. So you know we're going to be picking up some peppers too to take home, and even some cucumbers to go along with the beautiful different kinds of lettuce that we're growing in our garden.
What are you doing?
I think maybe I'm too choosy because you've got like a huge bucket.
My bucket's full. Yours isn't even half full. What are you doing?
Saving room for peppers and cucumbers, apparently.
Now we can fill up 2 things of strawberries because we can freeze dry them, and then we can also get some cucumbers and peppers. Let's go find some more strawberries.
So what are you looking for when it comes to strawberry picking?
Not overly ripe, because I want to be able to, have them in the refrigerator. We're going to have to go home and process them. So I want them like just right, maybe slightly pinkish, not red. So, as I go through each one, before I pull it off, I make sure there's no soft spots, there's no bugs. And then I just decide from there. So like coming down here, like here's a whole bunch of them. So I'll pick it up and I'll look like there's a soft spot there from it sitting on the ground. So I don't want that one. This one looks good. Same thing here. And I don't necessarily care if I get really big ones, because a lot of times the smaller ones are even sweeter. So I'm looking in here, and you can see in here, see how there's a bunch of fruit flies and stuff. So these are starting to rot from sitting in water and stuff.
The color is beautiful.
And just keep searching, like that one's no good. And we'll just keep searching until we fill up your bucket.
Are your fingers turning red yet? Yep. Somebody's been in the strawberry patch. I'm definitely going to be requesting some jelly made out of that. You think you can make some jam?
We could work on that. So we got a lot of strawberries.
A lot of strawberries. We got some cucumbers. We got some poblano peppers. We got some
Sweet peppers.
Sweet peppers.
Pickles.
Homemade pickles. And then we found some really lovely homemade guacamole and lots of different cured sausages that looked really interesting. So super excited for those.
So we're gonna go home, and I think we're gonna relax the rest of the day. I'm gonna put all of the vegetables into the refrigerator, and then tomorrow we are gonna start prepping. And we gotta take all the strawberries, you gotta cut off the tops, cut them in half. We're gonna stick them in the freezer, and then from there into the freeze dryer. So when we left the U-Pick, we put all the fruits and vegetables in the trunk because I have a trunk liner there. While it is so hot outside, some of the strawberries are already going soft. So we are now going to start processing all of these strawberries right away. We're going to get a batch into the freeze dryer. Then we're going to cut all the stems off of the rest of them, get them into the freezer, and then freeze dry them when the first batch is done. And then what we're going to do is go through and find all of the soft ones, and we're going to make a jelly. So we're just going to go through and find these ones where they've started getting a little softened already. And we're going to cut the stems off of those, and we're going to put them into this bowl over here that I've already started. We're going to turn those into a jelly, and all the ones like this are going to get cut and put into the freeze dryer or the regular freezer. So we got the freeze dryer on, and right now it says cooling the vacuum chamber. I have to wait 15 minutes before we load our trays. Okay, so load trays into freeze dryer, close the drain valve. So first thing we're going to do is open this up, and we're going to put all of our strawberries in here. Close it up. We're gonna make sure we got a good seal. We do. I come around back because I've got all this other stuff here, and we close this drain valve. Then I come back up to the front and I hit continue. So that batch will take probably about 24 hours. So we're gonna go back to prepping the other strawberries. Okay, Future Joe here. Wanted to show you the strawberries. This is the first batch of strawberries out of the freeze dryer. Now this batch did take about 28 hours. And the only reason they took so long is because I put them in there, like literally they were still soaking wet after, cutting them up and everything. Usually what I will do is I will take a batch and I will put them on my trays and put them into the freezer, which is where the second batch is right now. When you pre-freeze them, it significantly cuts down the amount of time for the freeze dryer because it doesn't have to freeze them first. It can pretty much just go right into the drying process. But I wanted to show you what they look like. And I love the texture of freeze-dried food, but especially freeze-dried strawberries. It's almost like a styrofoam. And so you probably won't be able to really hear it, but I'll try to. You can hear how when you break them in pieces, it's literally like breaking apart styrofoam. Here, listen. And the flavor is amazing. I mean, you put them in your mouth and they like melt in your mouth. But they have all of the vitamins, all of the nutrients, all of the sweetness but it's actually more concentrated because you don't have the water. And then you can take these if you want, and whenever you're ready to use them, you can reconstitute them or rehydrate them by simply putting them in a little bit of water, and they will plump right back up to the original strawberry, which is really cool. But they're really good for baking, putting inside of your yogurt. You can chop it up into smaller pieces and put it as a topping. Absolutely love freeze-drying food, but strawberries always come out amazing. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take these freeze-drying bags, and I get these online. And what we do is we just go ahead and fill up all of the bags with strawberries. And then afterwards, I put some oxygen absorbers in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, I got all the strawberries into the freeze-drying bags. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put these oxygen absorbers in here. And this just helps preserve it even more. Then what we do is we go ahead and we seal up each bag. And then after I'm done sealing these up, I actually go ahead and double seal them. Now these particular bags that I get online have a Ziploc seal on them, but I never trust those Ziploc seals. And I want these to preserve for as long as possible. So long as you can keep these away from humidity in the bag and don't open it up, they're good for up to 25 years. That's right, in 25 years you can open these up and they will have still all of the same vitamins and nutrients. So when you get your Harvest Right, they do give you this heat strip sealer thing. So what I do is I just go ahead and put this on here real quick and just give it a double seal. And by doing that, I can make sure that I have no issues with this. So I'm going to go ahead and do these 4 bags real quick. And what I do is I go right above the Ziploc so that even when I go to open this up, the Ziploc will still work. And my strawberries are done. Last thing I need to do is label them. You always put what they are, as well as the date that we sealed them up. And then if you have any hydration instructions. I don't need hydration instructions for the strawberries because we generally don't rehydrate them. We're going to use them as toppings or for recipes, things like that. One thing I did want to mention, if you're ever working with oxygen absorbers, they're always going to come in like a vacuum sealed bag. A lot of times they come in like 10 in a bag. If you ever see a box of like say 50 or 100 of them and they're not packaged either individually or in packages of 5 or 10, don't buy them because as soon as these are exposed to air, they start to go bad. So you want to have them always vacuum sealed. So this has, I think, 10 or 8 to a package. So as soon as you open it up, you take out the ones you need, which I needed 4 here. Then you want to make sure you vacuum seal it back up. Otherwise, the remaining ones in this package will go bad and very quickly. The cool thing about these ones that I get from Harvest Right is they actually have an indicator on them to let you know how they're doing. But anyway, just a little tip, like never buy them where they're all loose. They always should come vacuum sealed. And if you order oxygen absorbers and they're not sealed or separated like this, you need to send them back. Now we're gonna go back to the video that actually started yesterday. Are you not waiting for me?
I am not. I am ready to eat, yo. It is non-negotiable at this point.
Okay, we're going to have some dinner with some of the stuff we got today when we were at the U-Pick. So first,
beautiful.
We have a salad. The greens are from our garden.
I grew them.
I will have a link for that review video up here.
As well as the tiniest tomatoes ever.
Well, they are miniature cherry tomatoes.
They are mini minis, for sure.
Are they any good, though?
Yes.
Well, I kind of knew that because I've been picking them off and eating them every day.
You have? I've been trying to wait and let them grow.
There's a lot of them growing in there, and here's the thing. If you let them
Not
go
if
there,
you eat them.
That's energy going to the ripe tomatoes instead of the tomatoes that are trying to come in. So if you pick them off, that allows the other ones to come in.
You're so selfless.
I know. I really am. So,
what a helper.
And then we have one of the cucumbers, or half of one of the cucumbers that we picked today.
I'm having some kimchi.
Rachel's having some kimchi. Not a huge fan for me, but Rachel really likes it.
I love it.
Then when we were picking, I really wanted jalapenos, and the jalapenos got picked through. So we got a whole bunch of poblano peppers because we love poblano peppers.
I
They're
really
not
do.
quite as spicy, but they bring a lot of flavor. We'll stuff them with meat. But today, we actually sort of stuffed them with cream cheese. So I just put a bunch of cream cheese inside of them. And then I swiped some of Anthony's very, very thick cut bacon.
Don't tell him.
Don't tell him, even though he just came home and he probably hears us. So it didn't really wrap around it well. I mean, it started wrapping around it well, but you know what? I'm sure they're going to taste really good because cream cheese and peppers, like, why not? Then what we did was we have an almost carnivore pizza.
Yeah.
So we made our carnivore chicken crust 2.0. Link for that video
It
up
is
here.
so stinking good.
Now, we didn't use canned chicken today. When I was at Costco, they sell rotisserie pulled chicken. So basically what they do is they take the chickens that they don't sell at the end of the day, those rotisserie chickens, and they pull off all the breast meat, and then they make chicken salad, and then they sell it in a big bag. And the vacuum seal bag is good for like a long time, like 2 months if you don't open it up.
Yeah.
And so I just took some of that, and I think it's great because I'll keep a bag of that in the refrigerator. And no, it's not the super cleanest because they do put dextrose and stuff into the seasoning and stuff.
But it's a great meal prep.
Yeah. So what happens is like whatever they put as their seasoning, all of those ingredients show up on the label, but it still shows up as 0 carb. Canada's 1 carb. I'm good. I think it's a great backup option to have in your refrigerator, because if you just have that bag of like chicken, what I'll do is just, hey, I'm hungry, Rachel's not, I want to eat some extra protein. I just pull a handful of that shredded chicken out. I'll drizzle it with a little bit of like buffalo sauce, maybe put a little bit of cheese on. You could put marinara sauce, whatever you want, throw it in the microwave, and it's good. Well,
super tasty.
I use that instead of canned chicken, mixed it with an egg, some cream cheese, some Parmesan cheese, and pork rinds. That made the crust. And then on top of it, now there's a little bit more that we haven't like put on our plate because it wouldn't fit. I have 1 pound of ground pork that we browned up, crumbled, and 1 pound of ground beef, 90-10 ground beef. That is on top of it, along with a little bit of marinara sauce, some mozzarella cheese, and then I took 2 poblano peppers and I diced them up and put that across the top as well.
It's adding a really good
that's
flavor.
What we have. I'm ready to try this.
Now, when we talk about eating locally grown and in season, like it really doesn't get any better than this.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, everything is nice and fresh, picked right off of the plant. Like,
that little bit of pepper brings such flavor.
such flavor. And this cucumber is delicious. I mean, it is amazing the difference between vegetables and fruit that you know are just sitting around and probably being stored in a freezer.
Right.
Until they can get rolled out of the grocery store, and things that you're picking off of a bush.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's pretty big difference in flavor.
So yeah, this is like just an amazing meal, mostly meat. Little bit of tomato sauce. I used about a half a cup of tomato sauce for like the entire pizza, and then just a little bit of mozzarella cheese, but super high protein, plenty of fat in here, a little bit of greens, and then we're gonna go ahead and try this.
They're awesome. Because they're bigger than jalapenos, so you have more like cream cheese room. Let's be honest. It's all about fitting more cream cheese into my life.
I just love the taste of poblano peppers. And again, I like the heat from a jalapeno. They didn't have any. And so why not just take what they have? And there were a ton of them. They were super cheap. I think we picked like an entire like 2-gallon bucket full of them. So that is going to be the end of today's video. Now, if you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos we have linked right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at the most recent videos I'm going to put right over here.
Whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way, every single time we pick some food and then eat it, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time.
Bye.